important to us. And they're very important to me. And for anybody that knows that song, you would hear, "World, hold on." And sometimes you think, is that a statement? Is it a question? Or is it a direction? Because I think the world's moving really fast. How do we hold on? What can we control as it's moving so fast? We can only really control ourselves. Baby steps or big leaps of faith. We're in a situation now where we just have to keep moving forward. You have to make choices that keep you going towards your groove. And with music, with professional life, professional development, you can only get into your groove if you're moving forward. That's when you find your path, and it helps you figure out who you want to become. And I'm sure there's people wondering, am I in the community? Well, I'm here to tell you now, you absolutely are. And for all the new people to ZeroCon, welcome to our community. I'm very proud to be part of it myself. The last 24 hours, I've come back to Brizzy after being living in Singapore for the last 2 years leading the business. And the amount of people that I've seen, that I've met over the journey with Zero in the last 4.5 years has been incredible. I think I've been hugged more times than I expected. And I had a great one on Tuesday night when I saw a guy called Glenn Bell, who's a bookkeeper from Victoria. And he ran out of a bar and came up to me and said, "I'm silver now, Kev, I'm silver." And I was like, what? This is what our community's all about. And I love that. I've worked in finance for 20 years as an accountant, an auditor, I was in statutory reporting, and now I've been in technology for a long time. You just don't experience that. We've always been in a world of thankless tasks as finance people. Bookkeepers, BAS agents or accountants. We need to get out there and support each other. So where is our community going? Well, I've been in Singapore for nearly 2 years, and I'm delighted to say that our business and our community is growing into Asia, and that means that your community is growing too. We have customers and partners now in 46 of the 48 countries in Asia, and we could not have done that without the community. I would never claim to Steve or the team to say, hey, we went up there and did all of that ourselves. But what we did do was build a community out, and everybody took their place and took control and moved forward. I find it amazing that personal technology adoption in Asia is up here. There's a ratio of 1.2 mobile phones to every person in Asia. And there's 4.5 billion people in Asia. And business technology is here. Cloud accounting adoption is less than 15%. Where's the gap? Why has that happened? In the middle is probably the point of sale adoption. And that's why I think businesses have adopted technology at the front office because of their customer. And that's really important to remember. Who is forcing change? Our customers will. The people we look after will. And I expect to see in the next 18 months to 24 months this slingshot catch up, where businesses catch up with personal technology. And I really think that we should be very careful and very insightful in watching what happens and comes out of technology out of Asia. Because some of it is fascinating. And I'll talk about it a little bit later on today. But let's come back to the community. There is a person here who's been at 10 ZeroCons. Marvin is from Manila in the Philippines, and he is a pioneer of the Zero community in Asia. We probably wouldn't have as large a business up there unless he made the decision all those years ago to take on Zero. He understood, assessed and accepted risk, and he understood, accepted and took the opportunity a long time ago. He's now gone and built the equivalent of zero tax in the Philippines. He saw the opportunity to go out and do that. He's got API lodgements and a mobile experience for tax returns for Philippines businesses. What an amazing guy. So I actually think that he deserves a standing ovation. 10 ZeroCons is a big commitment to our community. So come on, let's get up. Where are you, Martin? He's out there somewhere. He's probably cursing me now because I didn't tell him. So that's the face of the community, the individuals that make it up, and the potential that's out there. Well, let's go to the other end of town. The community needs contributors from all walks of life. Individuals, corporates, businesses, and I'm very grateful for what OCBC Bank in Singapore have brought us recently. They are the largest SME bank in Singapore. And I've watched carefully, as we're building a partnership with them, exactly how they talk about their customer and their business. And I've been intently listening to them. And for me, and I've worked in a bank, and I've worked with a lot of banks, and I've been so impressed with how much care and attention they put into the customer. We've been working with them for 18 months now. We launched bank feeds in April, and it's been a roaring success. So I wanted to say a huge thank you to Melvin and the team from OCBC that have come down from Singapore, spent a lot of time with us, and really gotten to know the community that's here. As you're going forward, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about Asia and the opportunity, you might start to think, should I be thinking about doing business up there? What about my clients? Do they want to do business in Asia? Well, there's a great connection in the community. Go and speak to OCBC, who can start to help you think about setting up a business there. I always get asked, Kev, how many small businesses is there in Asia? And I am an auditor at heart, so when I say a number like 100 million, I go, nah. But it's more than that. It is more than 100 million, and it's grown every day. You think about the population there, the opportunity, the scale, the potential. 100 million will become 200 million in the next 5 years. Why will it become that size? The middle class is coming. The spenders, the investors, the people who start businesses, the ones that are in a position to take a bit of risk on, and there is an unprecedented expansion of the middle class in Asia. There will be 50 million new entrants to the middle class by 2022. Think of that as opportunity. But what does it mean for our businesses here? What does it mean for a community? We add 50 million to it? Maybe. We look at businesses like Gojek in Indonesia that started out as a ride-hailing platform competing with the likes of Uber. They've just been invested in by Visa. And Amazon are in talks with them about more investment. They've 25 million users. I'm guessing not many people here have heard of them. But through Gojek, you can actually run a lot of your day. It's not just ride-hailing, it's a services platform. But they captured customers because they knew that they needed a taxi or a motorbike. When you have that scale of people, size of market, it's not a trend, it's a mega trend. And I watch what's happening around the region with cashless payments and cashless society. And there are cities now where if you turned up at a store with some notes, they'd probably think you were a peasant. Which is quite sad. Currency is changing. E-wallets are becoming a new rage. And credit card usage is less than 5% in Asia. As we know, a lot of businesses in Australia and New Zealand are run off the back of personal credit cards, or certainly started that way. We're looking at facial recognition for payments, especially in China, where you go into a store, read your face, you smile as they take your money. But that's normal now. And I kind of look and go, wow, Australia's had this massive technology adoption in business, but the personal interaction with the customer in Asia is huge. Hopefully they'll start copying our faces. There's experiences now that you can have in airports where there's screens outside that read your face and you get a text message to say you're already checked in. How cool is that? No more queuing, no printing a boarding pass, just go and drop your bag. That's just going to get faster and faster, better and better. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of WhatsApp. And when I went to Singapore, I realised that the only person who was sending me a text message was my mum, back in Dublin. And it was really, strange to see that everybody was living in WhatsApp and WeChat. And WeChat now has 1 billion daily users. You can go into WeChat and people are spending more time in WeChat than with their friends. You can make payments, play games, buy insurance, buy concert tickets, access government services, dating services, make donations, get a loan, run a business, and you can chat to your friends if you want. The adoption of that type of technology is phenomenal, and they are called super apps. And I think we'll start to see more of them in this region in the next couple of years. How did I end up in Singapore? Well, this is a picture of me a few months ago for our annual report, and that was not the plan. I hadn't planned to end up in Asia. I'd actually been working with Trent and the team in Australia for many years and based in the Melbourne office. And it was so unplanned that I bought my first property in Melbourne, and 6 weeks later Trent said, "Do you want to go to Asia, Kev?" I said, "Yes." And Lee spoke about taking the opportunity in the moment. It didn't take me that long to say yes to it. And you make the most of it. And I've come a bit of a journey around the world. And it's fascinating because I've had to change pretty much who I am, how I talk, the pace that I talk at, the words that I say, change my vocab. And that was when I got to Australia. And people look at me now and I say, I go back to Dublin and everyone's like, "Aussie Kev." It's true. But the nifty bit that I've had to do is understand how business works in Asia. And I really wanted to say thanks to David and Amira who've helped me on that journey as well. Because if you plough into a new country and think that you can just go in and set up there and do well, it's not going to happen. And I've had great interactions with them and understand, well, what do they really need and how much care and attention do we need to give them to understand to take that leap onto zero. And they've recently become gold partners and really proud of them, so well done. We talk about bank feeds all of the time, and I think we actually brought the idea to Asia. This is a bank feed, let's get bank feeds going. We now have bank feeds with all the major banks in Singapore and two of the 4 major ones in Hong Kong. And I was kind of quizzing myself saying, wow, the adoption rate is not that high. And it was kind of concerning me because it feels like this is the most natural thing that you do with a cloud subscription. So we started to play around with the language on it. And the literal translation was, So we go again. Things like that can happen to you. And you've got such a belief, I'm going to nail this is right. And it catches you out. So let's bring it back to the community. We have a lot of power in our hands. We've been through a lot of, changes and challenges in life. And I'm a big fan of LinkedIn, me and the 650 million other people that are in there. And I got a request from this chap, Jacob, about 18 months ago. And I'd encourage you to add him. He knows that I'm going to show this, so he wonders why his phone goes crazy. And it said game-changing accountant, and I was like, oh, I don't know you. Who are you? And then we started to interact and talk on LinkedIn. I said, hey, can we catch up? I'd like to hear your story. So we sat down in Singapore, had a coffee, and I started to see then where Jacob was coming from. And we talked about where he thought his career might go. And he was saying stuff to me like, what do you mean you're waiting to move people to the cloud? I'm 20, are they not there already? It was really funny. But when I got to know Jacob, I realised that he'd already had self-limiting beliefs. And that was really sad. And part of it was because he'd been told that because of the quality of the university he'd gone to, he would probably never get into one of the big 4 audit firms. And I said, that's not fair. And a young, working class Dublin lad said, I'm going to help you. Because I was in that same situation a long time ago. And it was easy for me to help him. So I said, I'm going to do as much as I can for you. So we got him on the stage at Roadshow in Singapore last year in front of 1,000 accountants. And he got hired the next week by one of our gold partners. And it was a 6-month internship, and it was great. Great story, and thank you to Octo Accounting for taking that leap with him. When we we were talking, he said, Kev, I don't really like it. All right, what do you want to do next? I really want to get into Treasury. And I want to work for one of the big four in Singapore, but I won't apply because I believe that I shouldn't. And I said, mate, you got to go for it. I'll help you with the application. Let's get in there. Next week he starts at Deloitte in Singapore as a Treasury analyst. So let's give him a round of applause. The investment of my time in the last 18 months is probably 4 hours, but I truly believe that could really change his pathway. And it was easy for me. And I think it can be easy for you too. And when you think about the community, part of our culture at Xero is inside out. And we all have a responsibility to share and help and encourage and nudge and help people to move forward. And next on stage will be Rachel Powell, a Chief Customer and People Officer. And Rachel is the biggest driver of that sentiment across the business that has taught me a lot. And I'll leave you with a thought today. In our community, it is a huge extension into Asia, but inherent in any community is the opportunity to communicate. And there's lots of us here today, and you might get to chat to 50 people, but you're connected to everybody else. And you've got a common goal and a common purpose. And whether it's physically today or digitally over the next couple of years, communicate with each other. We all actually have a very common goal, and it's to help our SMEs, help ourselves, and grow and move forward. On that note, I'd like to welcome Rachel on stage. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the laughs, support. Thank you, Marvin and OCBC. And I'll see you later at the party. Cheers.